Although my term on the board of Habitat for Humanity, Hiawatha Land, just ended, I will always have a special place in my heart for Habitat. And while I was on the board, I met some great people, and I even made a few friends. Eric Sherbinow, I put in both categories, and we're glad that you're here today, Eric. And Eric has a retail and a construction background, so 7 years ago, he volunteered to help set up the Restore over Manistee with his background. He did such a great job and saw his work ethic that they said, why don't you come run it for us? And so he did. And since that time, his role as a Restore manager has expanded, and he's also a construction supervisor, both full-time jobs, and a bunch of other things. I don't know how he does it, but he does it very, very well. And what you're going to hear today is a man with passion about Habitat for Humanity. Eric was born and raised in the Upper Peninsula and has 2 daughters. He lives in Manistee, loves to golf, loves to camp, loves to go hiking and take photography pictures, loves to mountain bike, and he loves to cook. And from what I've heard, in the near future, you may know Eric is the maker of the best pizza in the world. So, Eric, thanks for coming. Come on up.
Bear with me while I get my technology going here. I'm not used to speaking in front of groups quite like this. Normally, I'm addressing groups of volunteers and talking about things like safety and construction and whatnot. So forgive me if I'm kind of all over the board with what I'm talking about here. I may jump around and may come back to things. Hopefully at the end of it all, you will understand what I've said anyway. That is my sincerest wish, is that I end this being understood. The Bible says that we, by love, should serve one another. And my story with Habitat kind of falls into that service kind of by accident. Like Mike mentioned, I had just kind of asked to help out. And if you would have told me 10 years ago that I would be here talking to you today about Habitat and about the service that we do for the community and others, I would have said you're crazy. It's just not me. I am by nature an antisocial loner who prefers to just be by myself. But I've discovered that there's a part of me hiding underneath that layers of reclusiveness that enjoys serving other people, helping people. And my motive for helping other people, I've discovered, is a very selfish one, because in that service to others, the reward is something that I never would have dreamed possible. A little bit of background on our Habitat affiliate. This is our 20th year for the affiliate. We're in the middle of the celebration of that, and it's not really a party, but I will say that we've had the best build season in memory, and so it kind of is really a neat thing that's happening in our 20th year. We are a small affiliate, population-wise, but geographically, we are among the biggest. Our service area is Alger, Luce, West Mackinac, Schoolcraft, and Delta counties. We have this tremendous amount of real estate we cover. We are the largest, geographically speaking, affiliate this side of the Mississippi, and we rival some of those west of the Mississippi. But when it comes to population, we are one of the smallest. We have so few people working in this area and working in our affiliate that we have some serious challenges to actually accomplish some of the goals that we have. So we count on volunteers from all over the place. We are always in a state of, well, when we're not building, we're in a state of fundraising. We're trying to always raise enough money, which is a never-ending challenge to continue doing what we do. We have golf tournaments and salad luncheons, and we have our restore where we resell used donated building materials and furniture and other items that people no longer want. We use that to help fund our mission. But what we have over in Manistee is this wonderful building, this old school building that had been donated to us just about 8 years ago, I think now. And it has made us unique in the world of habitat, certainly in Michigan, but even on a national scale. We are one of the very few habitat affiliates that has a building with our offices, our restore, and our volunteer center all under one roof. We have dormitories for these groups of people who come from out of the area to work on houses. They can stay right in our building. We have a rec room for them. We have kitchen facilities. And when I first started with Habitat and the building first opened up, I think we had 2, but maybe 3 groups come and work with us. And the numbers, 25 or 30 people that summer. When I took over in more of a supervisory role with the volunteers, that was 4 years ago, we had between 50 and 100, I think the number was closer to 75, somewhere right in the middle, volunteers come and work with us. This build season, this past summer and in the next couple of weeks, so we still have 2 more weeks of groups coming, over 300 people will come through our facility. Some of them for a day, most of them are here for a long haul. They stay with us for a week at a time. And the things that they accomplish is rather amazing. We've had to change the way we do business with Habitat because of the economy. Once upon a time, we built houses for poor people, and that's one of the biggest myths about Habitat or misunderstandings about Habitat is that Habitat gives away homes to poor people, and nothing can be further from the truth. Habitat families have mortgages just like anybody else who's buying a house. They have to pay this back. It is not given to them. We kind of know that people who get things given to them tend to not take care of those things the way you do if you actually have to pay for it. But we've had to shift our gears from building new houses because of the economy. A house that costs $70,000 to build in this area appraises at $65,000, and we can't afford that math just doesn't work out. We don't charge interest on our loans, and we don't have labor costs for the most part, but we can't afford to take a $5,000 bath with every house that we build. So things have had to switch, not just for us, but for Habitat as a whole. There's new programs out there, such as the A Brush with Kindness program, which focuses on the exteriors of houses and making them look better by having painting done or minor repair work to spruce up the house of a family who couldn't really afford to have someone professional come in and do it. And once again, they would pay for the materials, but the volunteer labor comes with that, and we don't charge interest. There's also our critical home repair program, which is a little more involved. We do roof replacements and insulation and window replacements and things like that on existing structures. And there's an awful lot of existing homes that just need a little bit of work like that. And by doing these smaller jobs, we're able to serve more families than by building a house for one family. One of the things that I forgot to mention when I was speaking earlier today is that we are really, really looking for homes in this area that we can do that kind of work to. We have, like I said, 300 volunteers came through our doors this season. We need to keep them busy with projects that that need to be done, and they love doing it. They come here to serve, they come here to help out, and we need to get more off in this area. We sadly haven't had any response from the Luce County area for families in need, and I know that they're out there, but so if you know of anyone, please have them get in touch with the Habitat office. But anyway, we build houses, yes, that we fix houses, we do all this construction, and we have an impact on the lives of the people that we're working with. And that is really a great and rewarding and noble thing. But one of the things that's so often overlooked in the world of Habitat is the impact that we are having on our volunteers. Most of the volunteers who come to work here for us are teenagers or college students who give up their time in the summer, and in the college students, they actually come during spring break. Instead of going to Florida and partying, they come in here and freeze and help out people. And they're really, they're happy to do it. And I don't know that they were happy to do it when they first started, especially when they arrive here, and it's pretty, they come from all over the country. We've had them as far as Arizona to the west and Rhode Island to the east. They come from everywhere, and they come to our little community. We can't, because of the nature of our community, we cannot organize this kind of a workforce on a regular basis. We can pull it off for a day now and then, but to get a group to come for a week and it takes a long time to build a house, to rehab a house, to fix a house up, to do any of these jobs, and to have a workforce like this that comes in and what winds up happening is in the process of them doing this work, they wind up changing their lives. It may not be right away, but in the long run, we know just by what happens in a week, the changes that are going to stay with them forever. This idea of service. Many of them, when they first show up on a Monday morning, they don't have a clue what they're getting into. Many of them have never held a hammer before. They don't know which end of a screwdriver to use. But as time goes on, and they get involved in this, and they start becoming part of this. I don't want to call it a machine, but part of this greater group that's all working towards a common goal, and then the rewards become pretty obvious as the week goes along. And usually around Wednesday or so, I'm thinking that they probably want to go home because they're sleeping on prison bunk beds, which are hopefully you haven't been to prison to know what prison bunk beds are like, but they truly are prison bunk beds, and they are horribly uncomfortable. And the train goes by every morning at about 4 in the morning, and it's just right outside the door, and they hear it. And so Wednesday, I'm thinking they're ready to go home, but Thursday and Friday, I'll walk around and I'll talk to the different volunteers, and I'll say, "So you ready to go home?" And I have never heard anyone say that they're ready to go. They want to stay and work more. So I can only think that what's happening is they've gotten into this mode of service, this mode of helping others, and they're getting that reward that I feel when I'm doing it. And you have to be a changed person when you're doing that. I don't know how you couldn't be. And I wasn't a bad person before, but I tell you, I'm a better person now. And I'm very, very selfish and with what I want to do with Habitat, because I feed off of that energy and I want more of that. And you do it, and you just want more. I guess must be like being addicted to drugs in a way. We have a part-time construction supervisor who helps me in the summers here. Last summer, he got to do most of the construction supervision. I wound up being more tied up at the affiliate, and I couldn't get out there. And as bad as this sounds, I was becoming jealous of him because he got to have that fun of working with these people and seeing the impact that they're having on the community and they're having on others and they're having on themselves. Many of them don't even know each other. They've never met before even coming here. And at the end, they've built some friendships that most likely will last the rest of their lives. And it's just exciting to be a part of it. I wish there was a way that I could put it in a can and share it all with you so you could feel what's going on there. But the impact that we're having doesn't just stop right in this community. It was brought to my attention by a parent of a teenager in Manistee. She told me, she said that her daughter worked at the ice cream store in Manistee, and frequently these groups of volunteers would leave our center in the evening and go and get ice cream. And there's usually 25 or 30 people in these groups, and the community knows they're there. The community has increased, the population has increased 1% every time one of these groups shows up. So they know that these people are in town, that they're volunteers for Habitat. Now, they were at the ice cream place, and the daughter of this person got to know what these groups were doing. And some of the groups are multi-part groups. There's a school in Illinois, down in Illinois, that sends 5 groups for 5 different weeks. So she got to recognize the buses and the different groups that come in, and she asked what it was all about. And after hearing what these groups were doing and what they were getting out of doing it, she took it upon herself to organize her own group from this area to go to West Virginia to work on a Habitat project there. So it's absolutely, you just don't know what impact your actions are. It might seem insignificant. This little thing that you did today, this thing that you told someone today, can have an impact. They call it the butterfly effect or the ripple effect or whatever, but it really is true. And to have that come home to me this summer, to hear that story that what we're doing here is directly affecting people in West Virginia today. And it's just kind of an amazing thing, and I'm so happy to be a part of that. And that is really what Habitat is about. We build houses for poor people, sure. We help out people who need, yep. But the impact that we're having on these young people, for the most part, they're never going to forget this. They're never going to let go of that memory that they have of coming here and being of service to others. Because if they get half the reward that I get out of it, their lives will be changed forever. And the world will be a better place because of it. We hear so much about how awful people are today. What are these young kids doing? They're doing terrible things. And you hear about this, where's the respect? Where's the, we didn't do that stuff when we were kids. We did. But, and we think, what kind of condition is the world going to be in when they're in charge? Well, those ones you're hearing about on TV and the news, they won't be in charge. The ones I'm working with, those are the ones who are going to be in charge. They're the ones who are going to be running the show. And I rest easy knowing that they're capable people. And because of what you're doing and what we're doing is really helping perpetuate that. And I cannot thank you enough for your support and for your taking the time to listen to me here today. So, thank you.